Before we begin, I ask you to do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000, so your help is needed. And now to our feature presentation. If you thought Astroworld was bad, you haven't seen Woodstock 99. This festival made Astroworld look like a church service. To sum up this festival, I could describe it as an out-of-control frat party. This was not the example Woodstock 69 has brought us. When patrons arrived, they were met with disappointment. For one, Woodstock 99 wasn't even held at its original location. Instead, it was held at a military base. Then there was no outdoor foods or drinks allowed. This was messed up because temperatures rose to the 90s and people could die of heat stroke before they could see corn. Third, the vendors were inflating their prices like Joe Biden. Day one commences and bookers were faced with a dilemma. The Godfather of Soul refused to go on stage because his money wasn't coming in. He eventually went on stage and the white folk loved it. One thing I forgot to mention, MTV did coverage throughout the festival and this lovely VJ was doing most of the coverage. Second, most of the crowd was butt booty naked. Sheryl Crow went on stage and most of the horny men in the crowd wanted her to flash the crowd. Thanks to Sheryl being a classy lady, she refused. These men think they could get lucky, but the close luck they'll have for now is when the women crowd surf and they'll grab more than they can handle. One thing this documentary failed to talk about was when DMX stand toe to toe with all the rock acts and getting the whole crowd shouting the N-word. As night fell, the main attraction of the night, Korn, performed and the crowd went ballistic. Yeah. The crowd went so crazy that if you fall down, you'll end up pushing up daisies. And I kinda feel bad for Bush going on, but that wrapped up night one. After a night of headbanging music, fans woke up to disgusting porta potties and they barely had any public showers, so you know that festival smelled like don't matter. Things didn't help like when fans failed to keep the earth green and waste management refusing to treat the problem. Back on stage, wyclef encouraged fans to throw plastic bottles onto the stage while he played the national anthem. At nearly 98 degrees and rising, Trump's biggest supporter comes on stage with a huge fur coat causing fans to pass out of heat exhaustion by just looking at him. After this, Sublime takes the stage and destroys mannequins of the Backstreet Boys. Seriously, what does Backstreet ever do to you besides exist? Tell me why. Hey, tell me why. But all Sublime did was fed into the fans' anger. At this point, fans had near control of the festival and with weak security doing absolutely nothing. So when Limp Bizkit went on stage, the crowd was filled with negative energy. So what Fred Durst did was shocking. Well, not really. He basically told the fans to break themselves, and this is another moment that gave me goosebumps. Going this way, I just might break your face tonight! Give me some break! After Limp Bizkit's performance, fans decided it was time to declare war on the sound tower. And what does the biggest douchebag in music did? Fed into the fire. People were getting cracked in the head with a bottle, and with part of that dismantled tower, Durst began to crowd surf. The violent scene in this moment was just the beginning. Into the wee hours of Sunday morning, Fatboy Slim performed at the Emerging Artist stage. During his set, it was something out of a zombie movie, was zoink and doing things that I can't mention on this channel. This zombie apocalypse caused Fatboy Slim to end his set early. Part 2 ends here without them mentioning the crowd mosh pitting to Ice Cube and mentioning Metallica. How do you not mention Metallica, especially given their new success? It is now day 3, and if I was at the festival, given what I know now, I would have left at this point. By day 3, the shower lines was so long, people broke the water barrier and what you got is a mud bowl. This caused most of the fans to get trench mouth, which is caused by unsanitated water. The only person to outsmoke Snoop Dogg sang Amazing Grace to ease the crowd's nerves, but all hope is lost. Jewel was a performer and reading the audience, they were in no mood for her, so she ended her set early and got up out of there. Fans there then tore the Woodstock wall down.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The last act, the Red Hot Chili Peppers went on stage and Flea was buck naked. During their performance, Woodstock promoters decided to pass out candles during the song Under the Bridge, which is a horrible idea. Giving over 100,000 fans fires whose testosterone levels was at a peak level led into a fire. Not surprised. The Red Hot Chili Peppers had to pause their set because of this, and firefighters refused to show up because of the fear of their own safety. The Chili Peppers did return to perform a song they shouldn't, and the song was Fire, a cover of Jimi Hendrix, and the flames continued. After the Red Hot Chili Peppers ended their set, fans waited to see what's next. Earlier that day, a rumor was spreading that a special guest was set to close Woodstock. Names like Michael Jackson, Guns N' Roses, Prince were thrown out, but when fans found out that Mr. Nobody was the special guest, that was the final straw. They did show a video of Jimi Hendrix instead. And let the riots begin. Fans began to burn any and everything they could find, and they were acting like gorillas in a coop. Scenes of trailers and cars being burned were shown, and vendors was the next area target of looting. Someone discovered an ATM and they seeked and destroyed them. The police guards, state troopers, and the National Guard finally showed up to end the melee. A disastrous end to a disastrous festival. The fallout looked like something out of a war zone. At least 50 people were arrested, and it should have been more. Most who attended had no regrets, but then a dark report surfaced. There was a report of at least 5 women were taken advantage of in the worst way occurred during that festival. Some reports stated it occurred during Korn's set and Fatboy Slim's set. These men were dogs, but with 200,000 attendees, there was nothing that came much of it. At the end of the documentary, it was reported that the main reporter, Michael Lang, died 3 months after filming, and no plans for another Woodstock. And you know what? Good riddance. After '99, it was best for the Woodstock brand to die, and now we have other safer festivals like iHeartRadio, Lollapalooza, Hot 95, and etc. For me, the biggest takeaway from this documentary is that don't go chasing festivals. Stick to the regular concerts that I'm used to. And on that note, that concludes Trainwreck Woodstock. If you have not seen this documentary, I highly recommend you check it out. For someone who's not the biggest fan of rock music, thoroughly enjoyed this documentary, and again, it's a must watch. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.